What's up, you guys? This is Jonathan Mead, and today I'm out here at the beautiful Mount Tabor Park in Portland, Oregon, and I want to share with you a little bit from my morning practice, my personal morning routine that helps me uncage from domestication, helps me get back into my body, and helps me start the day off on the right foot, so to speak. So the first part is just getting my bare feet on the ground, picking up some of those free electrons from the earth to help me just kind of discharge some of those positive ions and, you know, get back into my body, feel that connection with the earth. So that's the first most important piece, just taking your shoes off, getting back in contact with the ground. Now, secondly, I'm gonna just start doing a little bit of shaking. So just starting off with just a little bit of light shaking. I might make a little sound. Shake my arms out a little bit. Shake my head. Shake my legs. And shake. Do the dog shake. Shake it out and just kind of get a little bit of the tension, a little bit of the grogginess out of my body and just start waking up my system. So that's the first piece. Once I do that, I'm just going to do a standing check-in and kind of scan down my body. So as I do this, I want to make sure I'm standing very tall, so nice and tall. I want to kind of imagine there's a weight at the bottom of my tailbone that's pulling my tailbone down. I let my ribs drop as I exhale. And then I imagine there's a string pulling the top of my head up, making me taller. So as I make sure I'm nice and tall, I just start scanning down my body, starting with the top of the head. I'm just noticing what's going on in my body, just kind of checking in with myself before I start the day. You can close your eyes or keep them open, it's really up to you. I'm not judging, I'm just noticing what's going on. Making sure my breathing is nice and relaxed. Letting those ribs drop even lower with each exhalation. I usually just take a couple of minutes to do this. You can take as long as you like. You know, you could do a standing check-in or standing meditation for 10 or 15 minutes, really just depending on how much time you have. But you're really just building a map of your body, and it's going to help you with your movement practice with whatever you decide to go into, right? The better map of our bodies that we have, the more control we're going to have, the more sensitivity we're going to have, and just overall, we're going to have more balance, more coordination within our nervous system. So that is the next piece. All right, so after I do my standing check-in, I'm going to drop into a squat. So deep flat-footed squat. If you can't hold this, that's totally fine. You can put something under your heels to give you a little bit of support. But I just like to drop into a squat, just open up my hips a little bit. And now I'm gonna start my breathing practice for the day, just kind of oxygenating my body. And depending on the type of movement that I'm going into for my practice, I may do either very slow and controlled breathing, like say if I'm gonna do balance work or like hand balancing or skill-based work, say maybe I'm gonna be working on martial arts or capoeira or something like that, then I might do slow and controlled breathing. If I'm gonna go into strength training or more explosive work, then I'm gonna do more dynamic, like faster breathing. And The other really cool thing about the faster breathing is this helps hyperoxygenate the body and helps warm you up a little bit. So air is what creates combustion internally, and it's what creates heat internally. So if you're ever cold, maybe you're getting outside, you're putting your feet on the ground and it's a little bit cold, you can breathe a little bit faster to help warm up your body. So I'm just going to breathe into the belly. I'm going to do faster breathing today. You can do slower breathing if you want, but I'm going to breathe rapidly right now. So breathing deep into my diaphragm, into my pelvic floor. Now I might do about 15 to 30 breaths, somewhere in that range. When I'm doing this practice, I'm not worrying too much about repetitions and sets. I'm just kind of going with what my body feels. So I'm going to do that breathing, get my body warm, oxygenated, and then what I move into, I find this works really well once you start getting connected to your breath and connected to your body, is then starting to expand that awareness to your space, to the space around you. So I'm going to start feeling the weight of my body and the weight of gravity on my body, feeling the ground. I might notice where my weight is shifted more. So maybe the weight is more in my left foot or more in my right foot. Can notice if there's more weight in my right side of my pelvis or my left side. I'm going to start to feel the air on my skin. I'm going to notice if there's any wind. I'm going to start noticing the sounds in the space around me. So you can probably hear there's a lot of birds chirping right now. I can hear some further off in the distance. I can hear some cars out there. I can hear my own breath. Now I'm going to start feeling the space in front of me, the space behind me, the space to the left and the right of me, and the space above and below me. So really feeling in 360 degrees. As I'm feeling the space around me, I'm going to allow my heart to open and feel the connection that I have to the space around me. This is my habitat. This is my original home, right? And I want to feel that with my body, with my heart. Feels good to be here. Feels really good to be here. So one of the benefits of this practice of feeling the space is when we are moving, we are moving with our environment, right? Many of you are doing climbing, whether it's with rock or trees or indoor bouldering or something in a gym. Many of you are crawling or jumping from rock to rock or doing these kind of practices. And the more we're able to feel the space around us, the more we're able to move better, move with more grace, more fluidity. So this squatting, breathing, and feeling the space practice is something that I like to do every day. Now I just want to start warming up the actual joints of my body. So I start with my wrist. I'm just going to move my wrist in these big circular motions. These are what some people call controlled articular rotations. I see a lot of old Asian ladies just doing these, and they just call them, I guess, moving their joints. But if you want to learn more about controlled articular rotations, I recommend you check out Dr. Andrea Spina's work. He has some good stuff on this. But basically I'm just warming up all the joints, and I do this with my fingers, just big circles. I do it with my elbows. I do it with my shoulders. Right? And I do each direction. Then I do it with my scapula, so my shoulder blade. I just want to make a nice fluid motion as much as possible. Fluid and controlled. I don't want anything to be super choppy or jerky. I'm going to do it with my neck. I'm going to do it with my spine. So rolling forward, coming to the side, coming to the back, and to the side again. You can do this on all fours too if it helps you control the spine a little bit more. Then I do it with my hips. I do it with my knees. And I do it with my ankles. And of course, I don't forget the toes too. I do it with my toes. You might not be able to see this, but I try to lift each toe one at a time. I can't really move my toes in circles. Maybe you can. Maybe you're a badass like that, but I haven't gotten there yet. So I just try to move my toes a little bit as well, trying to isolate each one. So this just wakes up all the joints in the body. You can do this in a very segmented way, you know, each joint, which I like to do. And then you could do kind of global movements as well. So I try to like just do a little bit of freeform movement. After that, after the cars, then I just try to ground in to my body and really think about and feel what I want to embody, who I want to be. What am I doing this practice for? Right? Of course, I'm doing this practice just to connect with my nature, the space around me, you know. I'm doing it for better health. But I want to think bigger than that. So often we do these practices and they end up being very kind of egocentric. And I think that's fine to start off with. We have to do things for ourselves, but we want to expand beyond that to being ecocentric, right? That's one of the beautiful benefits of being out in nature and being out in a space like this, is it makes you so much more aware that everything doesn't revolve around humans. So I want to be thinking about, who do I want to be? What do I want to embody? For me, that's being an irreverent pioneer. It's inspiring other people to wake up to their own true nature, the greatest version of themselves. It's inspiring people to reconnect with the natural world so they can experience more joy and more connection and help us protect this earth so it can, you know, be enjoyed by future generations. It's so I can, you know, I can achieve my own dreams and my own, you know, movement aspirations. This lays the groundwork for all the things that I want to do and be in the world. So I'm just going to take a few moments to think about that and to really feel that in my heart, in my stomach, in my balls, in my legs. I'm really feeling that in my whole body, like who I want to be. And then I take that with me throughout the day, right? So this doesn't just remain some isolated practice that I do by myself. It ends up being a gift to other people. It ends up being a gift to the world. And that's my deepest goal with my morning practice. And it really lays, like I said, lays the groundwork for the rest of the day, for all the stuff that I'm going into. I might have a hectic, really busy day, but at least I had these first few moments, right? So sometimes I'll take this practice and then I'll move into, my movement practice for the day, which might be more, strength-based or skill-based. I might be doing some climbing or some, ring work. Sometimes I'm just going to go straight into doing some, work on the computer or something like that, which is fine too. But hopefully this helps you. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of, insider's look into what I do, and helps inspire you to shape your own morning practice. This has been one of the most powerful, transformative things that I've done personally, and I hope that it helps you as well. You still there? It's time to uncage.